Man, it has been a minute since we took a look at a pair of 5, but today we might have one of the best this year, so let's find out if that's actually the case. And here we have the box, those UNC details already hitting. As you can see, you've got the blue Jumpman logo on the front. You've also got the black speckling around the trim of the box. This time, it's also in that UNC blue color. Either way, let's throw these open and let me show you guys today's pair of sneakers. It's the Jordan 5 UNC. And here we go, getting hit with that amazing UNC color that we just love to see on a pair of Jordans. I mean, seriously, the university blue colorway on a pair of Jordans has to be one of the most popular color options on any Jordan model. Now, this is a pair of sneakers that has been leaked for a long time now. I remember seeing the first early images way back last year, but the release is finally around the corner. These are going to be dropping on March the 4th. They're already loaded up on the Nike sneakers app, and there's also a bunch of other raffles that you can go and start entering right now if you do want this pair of sneakers. It's a little bit hard to say how these are going to go when it comes to the release. Like, are they going to completely fly off shelves and actually be hard to get? I mean, we know that the Jordan 5 isn't the most hyped up Jordan model. I will say that this colorway is definitely up there in terms of hype, so I can definitely see these things selling out. These actually retail for £200 here in the UK or $225 if you're out in the US. I honestly think that the more recent Jordan 5 releases have been okay, nothing amazing, really just okay. Like the Gore-Tex version of the Jordan 5 that dropped recently, I actually quite liked that pair, although it only did come in women's sizing. I also thought that the Jordan 5 Aquas were pretty good. The DJ Khaled 5s were definitely the most interesting in terms of how much hype they had at the beginning when they were first announced, so when all of that hype seemingly went out the window when they actually released. So yeah, in the landscape of Jordan 5 colorways, at least recently, these are definitely a welcome colorway. So maybe if you're someone who's been looking around for a fresh pair of 5s, this could be the colorway for you. Now, I will say that these are officially called the University Blue Jordan 5, obviously UNC being the nickname. And I also want to say that the execution on this pair of sneakers is really, really good. Actually better than I imagined. Starting with one of the details that is maybe not everyone's favorite, the Jordan team logo, which is stitched into the back of the heel. This Jordan team label is actually something that we see on most school-inspired colorways on any Jordan model. Like the UNC 6s had that label, the Oregon and Michigan 5s also had it, and then of course the University Blue Jordan 4 also had that label. However, it was actually placed on the tongue, which is a lot more of the face of the sneaker. Yeah, there was definitely some people who didn't like that logo being on the tongue of the sneaker. Where I think this sneaker really shines is the colorway and the materials being used. I mean, the blue on this sneaker is really, really nice, and even though it shares a lot of similarities to the University Blue Jordan 4, because that pair of 4s was made with all over suede, the blue came off a lot more of a dull color, whereas on this one, the nubuck covering the upper, it definitely is a lot more punchy. And I will say that that nubuck that literally covers almost every panel on this sneaker feels really nice in hand. think some of these smaller details on this pair of shoes are what I personally really appreciate. If you take a look at the eyelets on here, it is that slightly darker blue color, and then you've also got the lace toggle, which also is a darker hue of blue. And you've got that transparent rubber meshing that you find on the lateral, medial side, and underneath the laces. That rubber meshing is actually backed by a blue material, so it kind of shows through when you take a look at it and really gives this sneaker this iced out look. You couple that rubber with the actually iced out outsole, and it's definitely a solid combo and just overall makes this sneaker look super clean. And of course, a detail that is very rarely not on a pair of Jordan 5s is that 3M silver reflective tongue. Then of course you get the classic Jordan 5 midsole covered in all over black, and then of course you get those shark teeth or just the spikes that are also speckled in that UNC color. Here's my favorite part about this sneaker though, the inner sock liner. I mean, just take a look at that. It looks and feels super premium, and it almost has this metallic sheen to it, stitched in this herringbone style. It just adds such a cool element to this pair of shoes. Like, because the inner sock liner spills over the edges of the sneaker and is of course on the reverse of the tongue, you can see it from the outside and not just when you're looking inside the actual sneaker. Now, the sock liner looks good and all, but it's not until you actually put your feet in this thing that you find out it actually contributes to the overall comfort of this sneaker as well. Like, as you can see, the insole of this sneaker is also made with that same super silky and soft material. So with all of this silky material on the inside of this sneaker, when you go to put your foot in, it just slides right in. I mean, the Jordan 5 is already very well padded around that ankle area, so overall I think the addition of this material not only looks really cool and makes this sneaker feel a lot more premium, but it also makes it feel really nice on foot. I mean, it's a relatively small detail, but when you have a million different Jordan releases, the small details are the ones that get you excited. Speaking of little details, they also added a different patch on the reverse of the tongue. As you can see on this right pair, it says heart, and on the left pair, it says soul. Now, as for sizing, I personally usually go true to size when it comes to a pair of 5s, and that usually fits me pretty perfectly, so that's what I'm going to recommend to you. Overall, I think this is a very, very solid colorway. It almost goes without saying at this point. When they slap the UNC color on almost any Jordan model at this point, it traditionally does pretty well. I mean, 2023 is looking relatively decent for the Jordan 5 model. Mama and Yura are supposed to be doing their version of, I think, a couple different colorways on the Jordan 5 model. There's the Jordan 5 Cross that are going to be dropping for springtime, and I think those also look super clean. If you wanted something a little bit more traditional, I think this is a very solid pair to go with. So hopefully you're able to pick these things up for retail. If not, maybe just a fraction above that retail price on the aftermarket. Of course, let me know your thoughts on the Jordan 5 University Blue down in the comments. Hey, maybe these are not your thing. Well, you can check out the latest upcoming sneakers with that video right there.